So this year's Fire Prevention Week theme is serving up fire safety in the kitchen. So that's why we're in the kitchen here at Station 3, so I can give you some kitchen-related fire safety tips. Number one, and this one's mainly geared towards all you kids out there. Guys, don't ever touch anything that's in, on, or right next to the stove or oven. You never know if your mom or dad, grandma and grandpa, brother, sister, or anyone else who might be in the house with you would have recently used the stove or oven. So we're always going to assume that anything you see on or next to the stove or oven is really hot, so don't ever touch it. I don't want you guys to get burned, so making sure you steer clear of that stove or oven is a surefire way to keep you guys safe. Now the next tips are going to be geared towards both you kids out there and the adults. If you're in the kitchen and you're cooking, I understand that sometimes you get distracted. So what I want you to do is to set a timer. You can set it on your phone, set it on your watch, set it anywhere you like, but set that timer and bring it with you. So that way if you leave the kitchen and you have food cooking, you'll hear that timer go off and it'll hopefully jog your memory and remind you to go back into the kitchen and check on what you're doing. The next tip I want to give to you guys is to always keep the handles of your pots and pans, just like this one, keep them turned inward on your stove. Doing that will help prevent you accidentally knocking into that pot or pan and either number one, spilling any hot contents that could burn you, or number two, potentially starting a fire in your kitchen. So like I said, make sure you take those handles, instead of keeping them out here, make sure you turn them inside so there's no chance that you could knock into them. As long as we're talking about pots and pans, let's talk about lids. If you guys are cooking, now especially if you're using grease or oil, anything that can be flammable, what I want you to do is keep a lid, just like this one, right next to you when you're cooking. That way, in the unfortunate or unlikely event that there's a small grease or oil fire in your pan, you can quickly and easily take your lid, slide it right over your pan, which is going to smother out that fire. Then what you can do, go to the knob for that burner, turn off the heat. That's going to eliminate the heat source, further reduce the risk of any sort of additional fire, and let that content cool down. Now let me also tell you guys, if you don't think you can safely do that, I want you to get out of the house as quick as you can and call 911. Don't ever do anything that's related to a fire in your kitchen that you're not comfortable or you don't think is safe. Get out and stay out. If you do think you can do it though, slide that lid on, turn off the heat, and then walk away and let those contents cool down. Now, the last tip I'm going to give you, and this one again is mainly for adults, but it applies to you kids too. What I want you to do is think about creating a 3-foot kid-free buffer zone. Now, I'm not suggesting that you actually have to mark 3 feet on your kitchen floor, but use your imagination and try to maintain that 3-foot space so none of your kids, grandkids, nieces, nephews, or any other little kids you have in the house with you get too close to the oven or the stove when it's on. We don't ever want to see any kids get hurt or get burned, and we don't want them to ever pull down any pots or pans that are full of hot contents. So remember, try to keep that 3-foot buffer space around anything that's hot. That could be your stove, your oven, a grill, or any other device you're using that's going to be hot and that you're going to use to prepare your food. I hope you enjoyed these kitchen safety tips. I got these right from the NFPA's website. The NFPA is the National Fire Protection Association, and their website is nfpa.org. If you guys are interested in more kitchen safety tips, please check out their website. They've got tons of great information.